Subtitles: 3 strong bodyguards beat a frail old chief. William and his friends dash in like superheroes to stop this real-life prank. When the father hears the commotion, he pushes the bodyguard away like lightning, only for the guy to panic and fire a warning shot like a hot potato. People scatter like they're at a circus gone wrong, and the president hastily hops into his luxury car and zooms off. The brave chief is left gasping for air after the thrashing, and at that moment, Dad realizes the rich might just be aliens. The only way out is to save himself to survive, but the earnings are just enough for the family to suffer through 60 days, leaving Dad in despair. Dad decides to pry off the steel tiles from the roof, swap them with some shabby straw, and run to the market to trade them for some life-saving cash. On his way, Dad spots a crowd gathered like it's a party, and hears on the radio that they say the president denies any food crisis exists. Clearly, he's just spinning tales to keep his votes. The villagers can't take it anymore and decide to protest as a group, putting the pressure on that corrupt government, and Dad's blood is boiling too. Ignoring his wife's dissuasion, Dad joins the protest, unaware of the major family trouble ahead. Seeing his dad do this, William thinks he should show he's a man too and figure out a way to tackle the food problem for the family. He heads to school to borrow a DC generator, but little did he know, the science teacher had vanished without a trace. Meanwhile, the teacher is on a date with his sister, persuading her to run away together because staying here is just a comedy of errors. Sister refuses, preferring love lost to family severance. William waits in class, but the science teacher doesn't arrive. Instead, he is greeted by the principal, whose steely gaze, like that of a hawk, pins William down. My father would be like this. You've made my entire family disappear. My father would be like this. If you lose me, you've lost everyone's future. You've deleted the science teacher, now there's no learning anymore. William's desperate pleas can't thaw the principal's freezing heart, nor does the female teacher's pleading help. From this moment on, knowledge's sweet rain won't nourish him anymore, as William stares at the barren ground, feeling utterly helpless and lost. Suddenly, William notices villagers zooming down the road like rockets, and when Mom asks, she finds out. Turns out the government, under pressure, sent 2 trucks loaded with food, racing to the market for a clearance sale. Mom promptly rushes home to grab the savings and tells William to buy some food. He jumps on Dad's bike and speeds off but when he arrives in town, a line of disaster-struck villagers is already queued up, and one truck is completely wiped out. William thinks fast. He sneaks around to the warehouse back door, planning to slip in unnoticed. Surprisingly, it's also crowded with victims. Staff say food's scarce, and instantly, anger flares. To survive, they frenzy their way into the warehouse, and William zips through the chaos like a rabbit on caffeine. William buys 30 pounds of grain, but outside, hundreds of victims wait, so he patiently waits for the crowd to disperse. Meanwhile, Dad is on his way to protest, and when he sees villagers brawling over food, his heart skips a beat. He quickly shouts at the driver to turn back, but it's too late. A burly man barges into their house, plundering their food without mercy. Mom and daughter race after him, only to find that others have already looted every last crumb of food from the warehouse. At that moment, all they feel is despair. Mom sits defeated at the door, looking like she's been swallowed by a black hole. Fortunately, William brought 30 pounds of food, enough for 30 days, one meal daily. Just as they debate whether to have breakfast or dinner, the sister can't hold back anymore and rushes outside, with Mom right on her heels. Frustrated, the sister complains that Dad shouldn't have left them at home, making them vulnerable to violence and death. After hearing that, Mom gives the sister a slap and sternly reminds her that this is unfiltered reality. Subtitles: she sternly informs her that parents will fearlessly safeguard their children, even if it means sacrificing their own lives. Soon, the real famine strikes like a tempest, making life even tougher. Everyone can only scrape together a tiny mound of rice from their bowls, enduring the torture of the day. To ensure his wife and kids get more to eat, Dad only eats once every 2 days, breaking their hearts. That evening, William arrives at his sister's room, seeking her assistance with a request, but she spends the entire night contemplating and is unable to reach a decision. Until the long night slowly fades and dawn breaks with a glimmer of hope. However, this family faces a truly devastating blow. The sister leaves behind a letter stating that she's soaring far away. Dad, frantic as a chicken on a hot plate, wishes he could find his daughter in a heartbeat, but this world is just too vast. Meanwhile, Mom can only stand there in tears, and William trudges into his sister's room, only to find there, on the floor, lies the DC generator he's longed for. Suddenly, it clicks: his sister ran away with the science team. The family storms into school, blaming the principal's teachers for kidnapping their daughter. The principal's authoritative facade crumbles in an instant as he promises to search for them. When he hears that William wants access to the library, he doesn't hesitate to let him through. William walks into the library, only to discover that the female teacher has also quit.